And we are. When are we live on the radio on video?
Right now.
Oh, we are. People can see us. Oh, crap!
They can hear you too.
Really?
When did we go?
Just like 5 seconds ago.
Oh.
Hey, we're trying the new Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, orange, vanilla.
Wait, didn't you already pour it in your glass?
No, that was a Diet Coke.
Oh, I see. How do you want me? In?
Whatever works.
Okay.
Okay, my phone went to silentness, and we'll open up the, and then we'll open up phone lines as much as possible, probably as much as possible. So, Gun Radio YouTube, no, what's the best way to find it? YouTube or Facebook?
Go to the Gun Radio Utah Facebook page.
Okay.
There'll be a link there.
Okay.
Or you can just search on YouTube and you'll find it. It's the
Under Gun Radio Utah?
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, maybe we need a YouTube channel.
Ooh.
But then that would just put them onto us, and then they'll cancel us.
Put them onto.
Just then YouTube will know. Oh wait, I haven't even plugged in my headphones yet.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger got kicked. He got blindsided. He's in
What?
South Africa.
Wait,
I
what?
watched the video.
What happened?
There's
Schwarzenegger.
video?
Yeah, what about him?
There's a video. He was there just signing autographs and doing stuff like this for some event that he was hosting in South Africa, a fitness thing, and some hood comes up from behind and does a flying, spinning kick into the back of his head, and he says, I didn't really even, and it knocked him down. He says, I didn't really pay much attention. I get jostled by the crowd a lot. And he's 71 years old, and the guy just, and Schwarzenegger just shakes it off, and they wrestled this dude to the ground so fast, the kicker. Oh, man. But anyway.
Sad.
Okay, that's loud. Kim Kardashian.
Fourth child. Psalm.
Oh, Kanye.
Chicago, Saint, and North are the siblings.
I would have expected Shanae. Shanae would have been a good name. Casey, Shanae, a potion.
No. I will kill you. Wow.
Yeah, well. Big Bang Theory canceled, or ended.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah. Handguns versus rifles. Maybe we had a title to show that this time. What's more dangerous? What's a bigger threat to humanity?
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
36 seconds.
No.
34, 33, 32.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. I'm looking at it right here. Cut the chatter over there.
Oh, baby.
Orem. I have only 5 words for you.
From my cold, dead hands.
It's time for Gun Radio Utah. No apologies. A show dedicated to preserving and protecting your constitutional right to bear arms for your security and sport. Here's your host, well-known gun rights advocate and chairman of the Utah Shooting Sports Council, Clark Aposian.
And welcome to Gun Radio Utah. No apologies. Did they forget to say no apologies?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
no
that's your job.
apologies. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to be talking about guns
No.
for the next hour.
No.
We're going to have a guest on,
Excellent.
Ms. England.
Ms. England.
Because I'm not sure how to say her first name for sure, and I don't want to mess it up. Because I misread it the first time, and then I think I
Now
messed
it's
it up.
stuck in your
But
head.
she's going to be calling in to talk about something interesting. The man is oppressing us.
The man.
The man, the Utah man, is oppressing us on guns and other things too with taxes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we're going to be throwing our tea into the harbor,
Okay.
or we'll be throwing something into the Great Salt Lake. Yeah. Anyways, this is all. We really had to have one of these three, or all three of them, on because we talk about them so much. Cory Booker, Senator Booker, Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris. I have another name for her, but I can't say it. And if one of my employees back in California, Frank, if Frank's
Frank.
listening,
Hi, Frank.
he knows the he knows the name. Anyway, because they're trying to outdo themselves on banning guns, and they're stepping all over each other like so many rats trying to get out of a bucket. Anyway, so that'll paint a little picture for you. And yeah, so we're going to be talking about those, and we're gonna address the issue. We'll take calls. Are handguns, or is it semi-auto rifles, a bigger threat to humanity? Which is it? Which is the bigger threat, Casey?
I would say handguns.
Really?
Yeah. They're easier to conceal and easier to whip out and shoot in a driving car.
And are they? But then, so that would be the cons, right? But
Right.
on the pro side, aren't they easier to defend yourself with?
Yes, because I can conceal carry.
All right, so we're going to be talking about that. An interesting little back and forth, but not back again. Anyway, a Facebook comments are where I get some
now
of my
what?
best ones from. And this person is somebody, I just love this person. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but anyway, she poses an interesting point, and I think it's a great topic for conversation, and we'll be talking about that. The Department of Natural Resources, or more specific, or DWR, Department of Wildlife Resources, manages the Lee K Range out there, 21st South and 5600 West, in which I was there this morning.
You were.
A light drizzle,
I was
but
gonna
it was
say,
okay.
Was it cold?
No, it's not. It's not cold. Anyway, so we put a bunch of armored truck drivers through their recertification, and a good time was had by all, except for one who almost got kicked out of the range. So anyway, and we'll talk about trigger finger and muzzle direction, and oh my gosh, stop doing that, and that kind of a thing. So, but everybody was okay. We're going to talk about the open house that Lee K has on the 15th. So we'll talk about that. And like I said, Ms. England, I think it's, how do you say it, Doran? Delane. All right, England. She's going to be joining us, and we're going to learn about who you need to talk to and stop a tax. The man is going to be oppressing us with taxes. And what else? I think there was one other thing on my list. What was it? That was it. Casey, what do you have? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have an article. It was posted back in March, but I thought it was quite interesting. It's about women gun owners launching the hashtag #NotMeSD movement.
Not me SD.
And I'll explain more later. It's in California,
Really?
of all places.
California.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time
Ain't
for
nobody
that.
got time for that. But these women, they are all about owning guns.
Interesting. Well,
Yep.
and so if you're just tuning in and you're listening, that is Casey Aposian.
Woohoo!
She's our media coordinator for Utah Shooting Sports Council. And Doran is also in the studio. If you want to watch us and listen to us,
Yeah.
and watch us
And-
on podcast or live, go to Gun Radio Utah Facebook page, the Gun Radio Utah Facebook page, and just click on the link, and you can see Doran is running
Woohoo!
all that stuff, and you can actually watch us.
Or you can just go to YouTube, do a search for Gun Radio Utah. You can find the old stuff and the current live.
Yeah.
So, thank you. I thought you were waving at me for a second, but that is Nate in the studio in the production booth saying 5. And you know what? I'm going to open up the phone lines because I'm going to address this issue right off. Because we're going to be talking a lot about back and forth gun rights. And
Okay.
what can you say to your friend or your foe when they start getting up in your business with, guns are bad. And if you have a gun, you are bad as well.
Yeah, we talked about that last week a little bit.
So-
I had that.
And someone, I really do. I love her. I haven't talked to her in a long, long time, but Monica says she brings up a post. And this is not about guns, though. She didn't. I'm the one that brought guns into it. So I will. I
That
went there.
doesn't surprise
I went there.
me.
And she says, thanks. She says she didn't want to start anything.
And you did.
Well, I didn't really. I did it nicely. So hold on. She says, pro-choice citizens do not force anyone to get an abortion. Okay, so she's pro-choice,
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
She says, advocates for same-sex marriage do not demand that all heterosexual marriages be outlawed. Okay. Protecting everyone's right to choose does not threaten your right to choose for yourself. So I said to her, hi, Monica.
Hello.
I see what you're doing there. And I says, and I appreciate, the dialogue, the discourse. I says, I'm going to add another topic that is somewhat controversial because she went from,
Oh, she went there.
marriages and she went to the abortion. I'm just throwing in another kind of apropos topic, guns.
Yeah.
Guns. I said, those that are opposed don't own them, but also they don't want others to own them either. Please discuss. I didn't say please discuss, but I kind of
You
threw
left
it out
it there. Yeah.
So anyway, I think that the listeners to Gun Radio Utah are going to be of the same, but if you want to call in and chat about that, 888-570-8010. That's 888-570-8010. And tell Nate you want to talk and what you want to talk about and
Yeah,
where you're calling
we're
from
gonna
and what
chat.
you're driving.
And your credit card and your social. And
Yeah. No, just tell Nate your name. And if you want to come up with a name that is catchy, that is not your real name, so no one will know, you could say your name is Shanae. For all I care. I don't care.
Give
Anyway,
Godona.
in fact, the first person to use the name Shanae to get on with Nate receives a special bonus. I don't know what it is, but they should get a special bonus.
You have a lot of hats you
So
could
Nate,
give away.
if Shanae calls in, put them right on. Thank you. Now then, so that was that 888-570-8010. 888-570-8010. Where was it going to go? We were going to go to Kamala Harris
Oh, no.
real quickly. Kamala Harris, Senator Harris, is calling for a ban on importing AR-15 style assault weapons.
Oh, I did see that. Yes.
This whole sentence is just hideous in its in its thing. But so there's like 25 million AR-15s out there right now.
Oh, wow.
By far the most popular firearm, single firearm that there's ever been.
Yeah.
How many of those are imported? About 3 million.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but I'm trying to figure out what is her deal? Because we're going to be talking about how AR-15s, how AK-47s, or in other words, they're termed assault rifles,
Assault rifle.
as I like to call them, sport utility rifles. How do they fare in the whole crime, murder, mass shooting type of debate? Where are they in that? So she also advocates. Interesting. This is from the LA Times. She advocates near universal background checks. Near universal. I think that's the most accurate thing on universal background checks because universal background checks ain't universal. So there are only those that are inclined to decide to do that. All right. So Nate, let's take a break and wait for Shanae. No, we're not. Deline is going to call in. Boy, I hope I got that name right.
I don't know.
Anyway, so, all right, stay tuned to Gun Radio Utah. We'll be right back. Credit products are issued by WebBank.
Shanae.
If Sinead calls in, I cannot wait. I gotta have Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, my friend from India.
Yeah.
Ben, call in. He runs a, is it a Maverick or a 7-Eleven?
A convenience store.
Apu.
And he is friends with Apu Nahasapima Padawan. That's the owner of the, and that's their name. And
This is really hot, by the way.
that's what she said.
Huh? I didn't know if you should be worried.
Hey, somebody's on the warm line.
So what are we eating today?
What?
What are we eating?
Show the TV people. Barbecue flavor twists.
Honey BBQ.
Honey BBQ. You're a honey BBQ.
What's my response to that? What do we got? About 2 minutes. Minute and 45. Okay.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking the summer edition Red Bull, so it's Beach Breeze. It's
What
like
does that taste like?
coconutty.
Oh,
It's
okay.
what?
Beach
It's
Breeze.
Beach Breeze.
Oh, I thought you said beef. Beef breeze. I'm thinking, well, that's a hideous.
You can smell it. It smells like coconuts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a beachy,
Like
like a specialty drink.
exactly. The lame.
Oh,
Gulling. But the lame.
Okay, she explained her name as, if you're walking down Delane.
Darling.
It is Delane.
Darling.
She is a board member of Utah Legislative Watch. And how long do you want to go on this thing? 7? Okay. About 45 before we're back in.
Walking down the lane. That's actually pretty good.
so Dorn, I think you were right, Delane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a much better name than I had thought.
Yeah, Darlene.
Yeah.
It's good to get confirmation.
About 20 seconds.
No.
Delane, England, board member, Utah Legislative Watch. Do we have anything after the show?
I don't think so.
All right, we're coming right up.
Your Kia for details.
We're not just gonna let you walk out of here. Who's we, sucker? Smith and Wesson and me.
Gun Radio Utah is back. Talk Radio 105.9 KNRS. Here's your host, Clark Kaposian.
Welcome back to Gun Radio Utah. Smith and Wesson
And me.
all three of us. So, hey, as I told you in the first segment, we've got the man be oppressing us every time they get together up at the Capitol, the north end of State Street there. Hold on to your wallet, one way or the other. But, I thought it was, that they tried some tax stuff
Yeah.
last session. I think it was HB 441, 442, something like that. And it didn't go so well because I think and then, the legislature actually meets once a month
Right.
also, pretty much every month. And they met again, and we've got our guest on, Delane. Sorry, I got it right. Delane, England.
You did very well.
Oh,
Excellent.
thank you.
Better than my mom.
Oh, really?
Good job.
Excellent. Delane, England, and you are a board member with Utah Legislative Watch.
That is correct. We
All
are
right.
just a citizen organization, small business owners that were created. We created ourselves as a response to HB 441, this service sales tax bill.
So it was
That has been
441.
proposed.
So what's going on, and how does it affect the listeners to the show? How does it affect everybody? What might be happening with our taxes?
Well, first of all, we had a really big problem with the way that they were trying to implement this tax, because basically what it would do, according to 441, the original bill, it would mean that every service industry would have to charge and get the tax. They would have to collect a tax from all of their clients and customers, and then we would have to submit the forms and pay the taxes to the government. That would be city, counties, and states. Now, of course, they're looking at making some changes to it because the citizens got so upset that they were just really, really upset about what was happening. Mostly, people were upset about a service sales tax, but they were also very upset as well about the process where they're trying to ram through the biggest tax structure change in the state of the history of Utah, and they were trying to do it in the last 2 weeks of the legislative session. So then, with so much pushback, they decided we'll do it on an interim day, which is the one day of the month where the legislature meets. So instead of, we thought 2 weeks was too fast, now they're trying to do it in one day. And so the governor said he's going to call a special session. That's all they're going to do is try to pass this bill to put on a service sales tax to most service industries. Now, of course, large businesses that are very, very big, like the Salt Lake Chamber, the largest businesses, those businesses they've carved them out of the bill. They already carved them out.
Get out of here.
Because they're saying, oh yeah, if you're working business to business and you're not really selling to the consumer, then those big businesses, they said, we'll carve those out. So it is all pushed down to the consumer. So they're saying, we want to push it down to the consumer. But here's what's true. Small businesses, they use other services and other service industries to perform their business. So here's how it would affect our listeners today. When I go to the gun range, now I will have to pay a service sales tax on the service of using the gun range. The gun range company will have to collect that tax, and then they're going to have to figure out what it is. They will also have to submit it to the different entities. So they have to keep track of it. And if you've ever been a tax collector for the government, it's not really fun. Plus, if you ever make an honest mistake, often the penalty is worse than the actual taxes. And so that means that every concealed weapons permit instructor will have to collect this tax. They have to keep track of it, collect it from the people, and then they have to send it in. So it's very egregious. And it's not just the gun industry, it's every single service that we all as consumers use.
Concealed firearm instructors?
Absolutely.
Tactical firearm instructors, self-defense, martial arts instructors. So here's
Martial
a question
arts.
for you. What if a person was a concealed firearm instructor from Utah teaching a Utah class out of state?
Well, they're saying that they would have to still pay it and collect it, but we have approached them. We have approached the sponsor about that, and he's like, legally, the law would be that they would still have to collect it, but there's no way for them to actually.
So they're collecting it from non-Utah citizens for a service that's conducted out of state. All right, this is interesting. And then what if, and would they also then collect this from non-Utah citizens taking a class? I mean, what does this do for, I thought we were supposed to have a business-friendly atmosphere in Utah. I think that, wasn't that what we were touted as, super business-friendly?
We're touted. We tout that, but talk is cheap. And 5 different states have tried implementing this. 5 states have reversed it because it was so egregious to their economy.
You just let me know.
It hurts small businesses. It doesn't hurt the big businesses because they're carved out and they have the infrastructure. But the small businesses, it destroys them.
Yeah, I mean, I can just see from a paperwork standpoint,
geez,
it's going to be interesting and trying to get that. But I guess CPA should be happy about that because I'm just going to throw up my hands and give this all to my CPA. So this is
your
is
CPA
it time?
will also have to charge it. See, they will also have to collect it and pay it as well. So the CPAs are very upset about this.
The CPAs too. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, attorneys will have to, dentists, but not the medical profession. So if you have a high-paid lobbyist that goes up to the legislature, you're pretty much carved out.
Wow.
But
How
if you
about
don't,
real estate agents?
you'd be susceptible to that.
How about real estate agents?
Yeah, real estate agents. Now, they were initially going to have to collect it and pay it, but then because we have some high, powerful real estate agents in the legislature, they carved out real estate agencies so then real estate agents would not have to, but instead they would do a transfer tax. So every time that you buy or sell a piece of property, you would pay a transfer tax. Now, keep in mind, it will be very small. I mean, just think about it. It will be small. Not as small as zero is, but they're going to have a very low rate.
Wow.
They're going to have a low sales tax rate, too. The sales tax rate would be very
All
low.
right, so is it time for flaming torches and pitchforks at the palace gates? Or
it is time. We
so
tried that.
How
and
do people act on this?
Well, we charged the Capitol. We were able to get this into a special session, so we want to do the same thing. We do not want this done at a special session in one day. So you can go to utahlegislativewatch.org, and when you go on there, it has a place, the very front page, you put in your address, and it will pull up your representatives and your senators' telephone numbers and their email addresses. Contact them and let them know, we do not want this. We do not have a taxing revenue problem. We have a spending, and maybe we might possibly have an allocation problem, which we can address numerous ways. But adding an additional fourth branch of taxation is not a good way to do it.
Fantastic.
And
and it's been Delane England, because Delane, we're on a break right now. We've got to get.
Yes.
But Delane England, go to utahlegislativewatch.org and find out who your legislator is and let them know your thoughts on the man oppressing us with more taxes. Delane, appreciate you being on.
Please let everybody know about the press conference on Tuesday. 12
Press
o'clock.
conference. Okay, and I will let them know right after the break. All right. Thank you,
Great.
Delane.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
And we'll be right back on Gun Radio Utah. Stay tuned for more.
Okay, we got about 2:45 before we're back in. What do you want to do on this next segment?
How long did we go on that one? I mean, if we went really long, just go 9 minutes on the next one. If we didn't, go 10.
You didn't go terribly long.
Okay.
So you went actually like 8 minutes and 59 seconds if I'm doing my math.
Really? Oh, fantastic. Let's go 10 minutes then on the next one. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, so Tuesday, May 21st, Utah State Capitol, Capitol Preservation Room, east doors of the Capitol building, turn right. Okay.
You said 10, right?
So Casey, I'm going to go to you on your stuff.
Oh.
And I'll try to wrap it up on my stuff. Try not to take the whole segment, and I'll try to introduce my stuff on yours.
Okay.
What's the main talking point on this one?
The women are helping other women to be more educated on guns and gun safety and things like that, so they feel more empowered to protect
Is
themselves.
there a website or just a hashtag that people can go to?
Well, this is just in San Diego, so
Right. But if somebody wanted to start, are you thinking starting up
you
their
can
own?
learn more. Let's see. San Diego County GunOwners.com.
Okay. And they can have like a template or something like that there to start your own, or at least something.
Oh, now I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll cover it.
Okay.
Don't stress me out.
John, we've got like a 3-camera setup here now. Is that what we got? A 3-camera?
What?
Your face is crooked.
Good one.
I would say we would go out to eat, but I got so many of those dinners that we gotta make.
I just want to go home.
Oh. Okay. Okay, fine.
I don't know. I just kind of
Meh.
meh.
Meh. guns in the car, we can go shooting.
Coming right up.
Oh, yeah.
737.
Protecting and preserving your constitutional right to bear arms. It's Gun Radio Utah on Talk Radio 1059 KNRS. Here's your host, Clark Kaposian.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Gun Radio Utah. No apologies. Keeping up with no apologies. I got to throw it over there to Casey.
Are you going to announce
Apotion.
No. Are you going to announce the board meeting or whatever?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Come on now.
Casey. All right. Tuesday, May 21st, 12 noon. Tuesday, May 21st, 12 noon. So this Tuesday at noon, up at the state capitol in the Capitol Preservation Room. Go to the east doors of the Capitol building and turn right. So, Tuesday at noon.
At noon.
East doors of the Capitol, the main Capitol building, the big, domed building there. Go in the east doors and turn right, and that is the Capitol Preservation Room. They're going to have the Utah Legislative Watch. Yeah. Delane England and her board will be having that press conference.
Excellent.
All right. So Casey.
Okay.
What were you gonna? You were gonna.
So
talk
in
stuff.
San Diego, there are dozens of women gun owners that are joining together to launch this new campaign called #NotMeSD, and I think the SD stands for San Diego, because it was created by the San Diego County gun owners. And if you go to their website, you can learn more about this #NotMeSD. But it's to empower women with knowledge and choice. They're not necessarily handing you a gun and saying, here, protect yourself. But they want to help women protect themselves against domestic violence and sexual assault. So what they do is this group has a 3-step approach to women considering gun ownership. So they give free advice about firearms for women gun owners. They get referrals to gun shops for discounts and receive help filling out the paperwork. And they receive help applying for a concealed carry permit. Now, it does say, the article talks about how, women might not be ready to own a gun themselves, but they're becoming more and more educated, and they might go out to the range and they might shoot more, and they're more supported by other women. Of course, there is some pushback, saying that if you're going to have a firearm, you need to be practicing all the time, and that law enforcement practices and military practices. So why are we going to give women guns?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
ain't nobody got
time for that. But really, the whole point of this #NotMeSD from the San Diego County gun owners is just to educate women to protect themselves against domestic violence and sexual assault.
I like that there's this group, and and don't get me wrong, it just because they're saying the training and this kind of stuff. Of course, I mean I just got done conducting training. Training is fantastic,
absolutely.
But how much training should you have enough training that like an armored truck driver would have, or should you have enough training as a bodyguard would have, or a special forces soldier, or a police officer? How much training is enough?
Is enough to give yourself a gun?
Because when they just start saying, well, mandatory training. Okay, well, tell me how much that is.
Right. So this gives other women, like women who know about guns and own guns and are part of this program, will reach out to other women to help educate them and support them.
All right, excellent. Speaking about women.
Yeah, go Team Women.
That are not in that club, though.
Aw.
Kamala, whatever.
Kamala.
Anyway, Harris, senator from California. We talked about her idea was she advocates, like I said, near universal background checks for anyone who sells 5 or more guns annually.
5
or more guns annually. So that means the lady who's selling her deceased husband's 22 rifle collection, she needs to get a license to sell like an FFL, or somehow, I don't know how Kamala is expecting to do universal. She says she wants to revoke the licenses of law-breaking gun manufacturers and dealers. Hey, folks, Ask the ATF how long a law-breaking gun manufacturer or dealer is going to be in business. That would be like, zero.
Seconds.
Yeah, seconds, exactly. It's already kind of there. And then it says, closing a loophole to prevent dating partners convicted of domestic violence from buying guns. There isn't a loophole. It's not the law. If you committed a crime,
Yeah, a domestic violence crime.
yeah,
You can't own a gun.
then you can't own a
period.
gun.
Yeah.
And they want to start including that of dating partners,
Oh, geez.
and then define dating partner.
Right.
Is it we went on one date?
Right.
I
How many
remember a gal that came up to me at a party one time, and I was looking at her, just kind of like, where do I know her from? Where do I know her from? Finally went over to her. I said, where do I know you from? And she says, we went out twice. And I'm like, oops. So would that be a dating partner then?
I have
Anyway.
a question. What if I only sell 4 of your guns at a time?
Yeah, let us not speak of this.
Oh, okay.
What are you selling? What?
You don't know. It's only 4 at a time,
Hey,
so I don't have to get a license.
Ain't nobody got time for this. All right. You stay the heck away from those, too. All right. Diane Feinstein. Do that again, Nate. How many fingers? Okay, thank you very much. Sometimes I think Nate is waving to me, and other times he's giving
Nobody
me the number
wants
of
to
minutes.
wave.
Why
Why
would I wave to you? I don't know, Nate.
He doesn't want to
Anyway,
wave at you.
because you're way over there in the production booth, and you're lonely. All right. Senate Bill 66, Dianne Feinstein's assault weapon ban, because we know how well her 95 assault weapon ban did.
How'd that do?
Like it went, it
Like
went
not well.
Yeah, it went
went in
full.
the toilet?
It went full Shanae on it, and it was no good. And it didn't. In fact, what's the government entity that does all the reports? The auditing. Anyway, they did a report. And they said, did the assault weapon ban of 95 do anything? No, it did not. It did not do anything to reduce crime. Did nothing to reduce crime. All right, so her bill, Senate Bill 66, will not only ban the sale, thank you, the manufacture, the transfer, and the importation of so-called military-style assault weapons. Now, as if assault weapons weren't bad, now it's military-style assault weapons. Pretty soon, it'll be the military-style murder, death, kill, assault weapons,
Salt weapon.
bunny murdering type things. And it says like ARs and AKs, but also high-capacity magazines. Now, all these terms are meant to influence you. Mm-hmm. When you hear high capacity, you're thinking, well, high capacity?
Well, you can kill more
that's
people.
Crazy, insane capacity. What they mean is standard capacity. All right?
Huh? Yeah.
So they say that high capacity is anything over 10 rounds. That means they're okay with 10 people dying, I guess. I don't know. A ban on bump stocks and other devices that allow semi-automatic weapons to fire at fully automatic rate, because we know how often those are used in crime, bump stocks. A requirement that grandfathered assault weapons are stored using a gun storage or safety device like a trigger lock, because we'll learn here, if I have time, to show you how often actual semi-automatic rifles or rifles of any kind are used in crime is very little. And a ban on stocks that are otherwise foldable or adjustable in a manner that operates to reduce the length, size, or any other dimension, or in otherwise enhances the concealability of a firearm. So I'm thinking when she says adjustable, we're talking the standard stock on an AR now is that 2, 3, 4, 5 position adjustable.
Right.
It doesn't make it more concealable. Oh my gosh. It just allows smaller people or bigger people to accommodate that same firearm. All right. Of course, we talked about the standard capacity magazines. A ban on assault pistols. Okay,
What are assault
this is an AR pistol, basically a pistol, but it doesn't have a stock on it, so it's a rifle that doesn't have a stock on it, so it's a pistol.
Okay.
The ban on those, and this is going to hit. Oh, it's going to hit home.
Uh-oh.
A ban on. Again, I have to laugh when I say assault pistol stabilizing braces that transform magically, think Harry Potter, assault pistols into assault rifles.
Ooh.
So find out how to say that in Latin, and just imagine Harry Potter waving his wand saying assault pistol into an assault rifle.
That would be so cool if I could do
the
that.
stabilizing brace.
Right.
So, and we knew that was coming. So, again, Nate, what do we got? Is that it? Oh, okay. That's the The tornado move means get it moving. All right. When we come back, we'll talk more about what Cory Booker wants on Gun Radio Utah. Stay tuned.
The unemployment rate is at.
So if I'm doing my math right here, you'll have like 14 minutes. Wow. You said you wanted 10, so I was keeping you on 10.
Good. And Shanae never called in.
Yeah.
So I take it Shanae never called in, huh?
Shanae has not called in. I could call in for Benny to be Shanae if you want.
Let me hear your best Shanae voice.
I
No,
can't really
on second thought, don't.
I could call in pretending to be Gollum.
I'm so tired. Let's take a nap.
Let's see. Two minutes, 2.5 minutes. I'm
What you got over there?
What?
What you got over there, treat-wise? You got some treats?
What, are people asking?
No, I'm asking.
I got Archer Farms Monster Trail Mix. Monster.
Maybe Dorn wants some.
Do you want some, Doran?
Monster?
Monster. It's got peanuts, M&M's, brand milk chocolate candies. They could have just said M&M's. Raisins, chocolate chips, and peanut butter cups. I don't see any peanut butter cups.
Peanut butter cups? There's no peanut butter cups in there.
There's like little peanut butter M&M or chocolate chips.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, I said cups. I meant chips.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Okay, then I got beef
Beef sticks.
pepperoni.
Those are his favorite beef sticks that he has to take to every family
stick.
function.
Beef stick. You know, get me a beef stick. I had not met Casey's parents very long, and we were at a football game.
And it was like
And it
100
was hot,
degrees
and
out.
it was sweaty, and I had one in my
Pocket.
BDUs, and I didn't want to be rude, so I pulled it out, and I said, and I leaned over to my not yet father-in-law,
No, not yet.
and I says, "Hey, beef stick?"
And he goes, not
knowing where that came
not knowing where that came from, no.
But I handed it to you, and you took a bite. So.
He did. I'm not
Another appropriate response would have been, "Ain't nobody got time for that beef
and
stick."
nobody.
I wonder, does Izzy?
50 seconds-ish before we're back.
Does Izzy listen to Gun Radio Utah?
Probably not.
Why not?
Really, she's 13. She's got Instagram to update.
We should go on Instagram.
Yeah, we should be an Instagram show.
Let's make that happen.
Okay.
We're gonna have to switch the cameras so it's vertical.
Yeah, for all the baby boomers.
Baby boomers? Don't you mean millennials?
And Zennials, and there's another name too, though.
I don't know.
Oh, we gotta talk about Lee K.
All right, we're coming right up.
Gun Radio Utah with Clark Aposhin on Talk Radio 105.9 KNRS. Listen and you'll know.
Hey, just a quick update. Go to UtahLegislativeWatch.org. UtahLegislativeWatch.org, and you can find out more information on that, on the Don't Tax Us So Much
And Tuesday at
press
noon
conference.
up at the Capitol.
Tuesday at noon up at the Capitol, east doors of Capitol in the Capitol Preservation Room there. One thing I promised to tell you about, and I haven't told you about, is on the 15th of next month, over at the Lee K, 6000 West, 2100 South. I say 5600 West because that's the exit you take off. But technically it's 6000 West, 2100 South, right off that freeway there, is the Lee K shooting range. It's a state shooting range run by the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources. And Blanche Smith. Blanche, great lady out there. She's quite the shooter, too. In fact, she was doing a black powder shoot today somewhere.
Oh, fun.
And they're having an open house. So if it's anything like last year, it's going to go from 9 to 6, and you can learn how to shoot a bow and arrow or a gun free of charge.
Ooh.
They can shoot a round of trap or skeet, half off regular price. There's probably hunting dog demonstration, information booths, and free 22 and shotgun ammunition will be available
So
to shoot.
June 15th?
June 15th. And let's see, they got, there might even be a basic handgun class. So, go to the website or give them a call over there. And you know what? I wish I had their phone number right here, but Lee K, does it have their phone number? It does not on here. How terrible. But anyway, just plan on being down there. It'll be a fun time, and bring the kids and bring the spouse. 8 stubborn. Oh, no, we were going to talk about Cory Booker.
Yeah,
Where's Cory?
Cory Booker.
C. Booker.
Yeah.
Cory Booker, he's a Democrat from New Jersey. Do you know in New Jersey you can't have hollow point ammunition?
Why?
Because they would like that if you shoot someone that it overpenetrates and hits something else.
They like that?
They like that. No, it's true. So anyway, Cory Booker released his plan, because we heard about DiFi's plan, Dianne Feinstein. Heard about Kamala Harris.
Kamala
Harris and her plan. Cory Booker not to be outdone has a 14-point plan, which includes universal background checks. That's kind of a staple. Magazine capacity limit, anything more than 10 rounds. One of the interesting things is he calls for mandatory gun ownership licenses that must be reobtained every 5 years. Kind of like what they have in Illinois, kind of like what they have in New Jersey, kind of like what they have in New York. And we know how well that has done on crime.
What is it? I'm confused.
It's a mandatory, it's a gun ownership license.
What? Just because you own a gun?
Not a permit, not a concealed carry permit. It's to buy a gun, you have to have a license to own that gun.
Oh, geez.
So in order to purchase or possess the firearm. And if you don't renew it every 5 years, okay, then, not just that, you're going to be required to pass the background check. So all those people that can pass a background check and want to own a gun will submit themselves to it. All those that can't pass a background check won't. They'll still get a gun.
Right.
So anyway, they'll have to submit fingerprints, complete a gun safety course of unspecified length, cost, or availability.
Oh, geez.
And then they need to sit for an interview with an unspecified government official who will determine whether that person should be trusted with a firearm.
What?
So not only will they be fingerprinted, probably photographed, I'm sure he didn't mention that, do the background check, and then after all that, let's say it's all clear.
Yeah.
Then you get an interview. What could you possibly be asked in the interview that wouldn't be covered in the background check or something like that? And that wouldn't be subjective.
Are they going to hook you up to like a lie detector test too?
I hope not. So anyway, in fact, the interview part really got me because I was looking at things, as you can do a background check in seconds, literally in seconds now.
Right.
And so I'm thinking, well, what's going to be the one part in this that if it's there, that could be the choke point on it? Well, the interview. Many counties in California, for instance, will issue concealed carry permits. But many of them have an interview process. After everything is all done, you've taken your class, you've registered the gun, you've done the background check, you paid the fee, you did the application, and then the interview. It can be up to a year and a half to get an appointment for an interview. Yeah, 18 months in some counties.
What?
So, yeah, and does that have a chilling effect on getting a concealed carry permit? You bet it does. So, anyway, in fact, the whole purpose of the Second Amendment was to prevent the government, from determining which citizens could or could not arm themselves. So, and then the 14th Amendment said not just the feds, but every state has to apply to this too. So, Cory Booker. And the worst part about his plan? It will be completely ineffective. It's not going to address the actual problems, and therefore will not be effective at reducing any gun-related violence type stuff. And Nate, how much? What do we got on this now, Nate? Hello, Nate. Hi, Nate. And what do we got?
You have
left?
to 7.
Oh, 7. Thank you very much.
I will give you the countdown at 5.
Oh, you will. Okay, thank you. Hey, don't be getting uppity now in
He's
there.
sassing
Nate's
you.
No, don't you sass. All right.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So let me give you 8 little things that you can tell your hand wringing, bedwetting.
How many things?
8.
8.
Ocho.
Okay.
Ocho.
Yeah.
First off, violent crime is down and has been down for decades. It's been on the decline for decades.
Excellent.
Okay, 2. The principal public safety concerns with respect to guns, as far as deaths and that, are suicides and illegally owned handguns, not mass shootings. And not mass shootings conducted with ARs or AKs or anything like that. It's suicides and illegally owned handguns. You address those, you know, we are lower than Europe, way lower than Europe.
Wow.
Okay. And there is and this is very interesting. There's a very small number. Now listen carefully. There's a small number of factors that significantly increase the likelihood that a person's going to be a victim of a gun-related homicide. What I mean by that is home invasion robbery, home invasions. All right, you've heard about these? All right. Have you ever had one?
No.
Has your family ever had one?
No.
I've never had one. Doran, how many home invasion robberies have you had? You've had 0, and that's counting everything. Okay.
That's counting
All right.
everything.
You know who has home invasion robberies and that? People that do drugs, are drug dealers, have drug money in their house, have kids that do this, have items they have purchased with drug money, or used to live in a drug or live in a house that used to be a drug house. Those are the factors that are very common among that. And so the same kind of factors are related to gang or gun-related homicide. That kind of thing. Gun-related murders are carried out by a very predictable pool of people. It's what I mean by that is I've said it before, gun violence in any way, whether it be gun or knife or fist or foot or 2x4, is not spread evenly across the United States like so much Nutella on a piece of
I
bread.
knew you were going to say Nutella.
Yeah, and then you put the bananas on it or whatever. It's not even spread evenly across a state like Illinois.
Oh.
A state like Illinois, where we think Chicago, everything, the whole state is just, forget about it. No, it's centered. And not only is it centered in Chicago, in the state of Illinois, but it's centered in very, very specific neighborhoods. With the rest being relatively crime-free.
Wow.
Higher rates of gun ownership are not associated with higher rates of violent crime. Absolutely not. You cannot show it. You cannot show that high gun ownership has high violent crime. Look at Utah, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
We have, 3.5 million people here? Guns galore.
Guns
We
galore.
have one of the most permissive, if not the most permissive states for gun use, gun carry, gun having, whatever. And we're 4th lowest, 5th lowest in crime?
Yeah.
Okay, but we do have a lot of suicide. We're just the opposite on suicide. So there is absolutely no relationship between strict gun control legislation, like they have in California or New Jersey or whatever, and homicide or violent crime rates. Absolutely none. And the fact is the fact that legally owned firearms by lawful gun owners are used for lawful purposes so many more times than they're used to commit crimes or suicide. They talk about gun owners and I use Chicago because it's so easy to pick on them. And they talk about gun ownership and the people with guns in the home and these owners of guns, and so many people die in that home because of this and that.
Right.
Okay, first off, your brain will automatically jump to, gun owners, they automatically think it's a legal gun owner. No. It's like 99%, literally, of these gun owners illegally have those guns that are being used in the crime, yet they own them. They're just not legally.
Right.
And last, concealed carry permit holders are not the problem. They actually are much more likely to be a solution. Let me give you this info from John Lott. How much time do we have? Is it literally like, oh, good. Okay, thank you. All right. Concealed carry permit holders. So Dr. John Lott, criminologist John Lott, from the University of Chicago, by the way. The rate at which permit holders commit crimes is between 1/6 and 1/10 of that of recorded for police officers, who are themselves committing crimes at like a fraction of the rate of the general population. So between 2007 and 2015, murder rates dropped 16% and violent crime rates dropped 18%. Remember I told you it's on the decline?
Yeah.
Even though the percentage of adults with concealed carry permits rose by 190%.
What?
Concealed carry permit holders, not the problem, probably the solution, but certainly not the problem. And even if they're not the solution, even if they weren't, they're not a problem.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
So there you go.
So there you go.
Casey.
Yes.
We're going to head out to Vernal.
Yeah, we're going to Vernal next week.
We're going to go to Vernal.
Yeah.
And along the trip, we're going to be looking for places to go shooting too.
Okay.
Because I went out way past Grantsville recently.
Isn't that the opposite direction?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like not the opposite, but it's certainly off tangent. Yes. But I was looking for a place to go shooting, see if there's any, and the bugs were hideously horrendous.
Yeah, you got eaten alive,
Yeah.
even through your fur.
You know, thank you. All right. What have we forgot to talk about? I want to remind you about the Lee K open house on June 15th, 9 to 6. There'll be lots of fun there and free stuff, free shooting, apparently.
Free
if it's like last year,
99?
free 99. Also, go to UtahLegislativeWatch.org, UtahLegislativeWatch.org, and find out, because concealed carry permit holders, tactical instructors, gun ranges, all these kind of things are going to be taxed in the new proposal. But what isn't going to be taxed? You know, interesting things like some of the big lobbyists up at Capitol Hill. Well, their industries aren't going to be taxed.
Of course not. Surprise.
Surprise. So, anyway, we'll be looking for that, and you can find us on Gun Radio Utah Facebook on Gun Radio
Utah.
Yeah, UtahShootingSportsCouncil.org, UtahShootingSportsCouncil.org. Go there, sign up, and find out when the membership meeting is, which is next week, I think. Yeah. Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Doran. Thanks,
you.
Nate.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
I was thinking we should leave Wednesday night and go up there early.